What if I told you that reality is constantly trying to communicate with you, but you've been trained to ignore it? Every single day, subtle messages are placed in your path, moments too precise to be coincidences. A song that plays at the exact moment you think of someone. A number that keeps following you everywhere. A stranger you randomly meet who happens to have the exact answer you were looking for. You brush these off as coincidences, but deep down, you always felt they were something more. And you were right. Synchronicities are not accidents, they are messages. Patterns woven into the fabric of reality itself, nudging you towards something greater. Ancient civilizations understood this. Mystics and philosophers studied it, but modern society calls it luck, chance, coincidence. Because the system doesn't want you to realize the truth. These moments are proof that the universe is not what you've been told. In this video, we will pull back the veil and reveal what synchronicities truly are, why they happen, and how you can use them to change your life. From the moment you were born, you were trained to believe in a world of logic, structure, and predictability. Everything needed a rational explanation, and anything that didn't fit was dismissed as coincidence or imagination. But what if this programming wasn't accidental? What if it was designed to keep you blind to the deeper forces at work around you? Think back to your childhood. As a child, you were naturally attuned to patterns, energy, and intuition. You noticed how certain events lined up perfectly, how you could sense something before it happened, how you instinctively knew when someone was thinking about you. But what happened when you shared these experiences? You were told it's just your imagination. You were taught to ignore these sensations, to trust only what could be measured, proven, and categorized. The system taught you that the world is purely physical, a mechanism with no mystery, no deeper intelligence, just a series of random, unrelated events. And so, slowly but surely, you stopped paying attention.
Education played a major role in this suppression. Schools didn't teach you to listen to intuition, recognize synchronicities, or understand energy. They taught you to memorize facts, follow rules, and obey authority. Creativity, imagination, and abstract thinking were systematically pushed aside in favor of logic and hard data. If you couldn't see it, weigh it, or measure it, it wasn't real. Questioning this model wasn't encouraged. The entire system is built on the idea that you should trust external authority, never your inner knowing. Science became the gatekeeper of truth. Not true science, the kind that explores the unknown, but the rigid, mass-market, materialistic version that tells you everything is random, meaningless, and dictated by chance. Through that lens, synchronicities become nothing more than cognitive errors, your brain playing tricks on you. You see 11:11 on the clock again and again, just confirmation bias. You meet the right person at the perfect time, just luck. Everything is stripped of deeper meaning, leaving you disconnected from the forces guiding you. But here's what they don't tell you. Some of the greatest minds in history, Carl Jung, Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, all acknowledged that reality is far less random than we are led to believe. They understood that synchronicities, patterns, and hidden connections were keys to a deeper truth. Yet society mocks anyone who takes these experiences seriously. Speak openly about synchronicities and you'll be labeled superstitious, irrational, or even crazy. People who acknowledge these signs are dismissed as spiritual eccentrics, while those who conform to a materialistic worldview are praised as logical and intelligent. This isn't an accident. This is social conditioning. If you want to control a population, the first step is ensuring they never discover their own power. Because the moment you start noticing synchronicities, you begin to realize something profound. You are connected to something far greater than yourself. The real reason they don't want you to notice synchronicities is because they expose a crack in the illusion.
They show you that reality is not just a cold, indifferent machine. It is an interconnected web that responds to your thoughts, emotions, and energy. Once you start seeing the patterns, you can't unsee them. And that's where true awakening begins. Because the next question becomes, if synchronicities are not random, then what are they? Where do they come from? And why do they seem to increase the more you notice them? Let's dive deeper. At some point in your life, you experienced something so precise, so perfectly timed, that it felt impossible to be random. You think of someone you haven't spoken to in years, and they suddenly call you. You open a book to a random page, and the words in front of you answer the exact question on your mind. You notice repeating numbers, 111, 222, 333, showing up everywhere as if reality itself is leaving clues for you. These aren't coincidences. These are messages. And the more attention you give them, the more they start to appear. But here's the real secret. Synchronicities aren't just coincidences. They're intentional signals from a deeper intelligence, a force that has been quietly guiding you your entire life. The universe is not a collection of random, disconnected events. It is an interconnected field of energy and consciousness. Every thought, every intention, every emotion you experience sends out a frequency, like a radio signal. Synchronicities are the universe's way of responding, a bridge between the visible and the invisible, the physical and the metaphysical, the conscious and the subconscious. Carl Jung, one of the greatest thinkers in modern psychology, coined the term synchronicity after observing countless examples of events aligning in ways that defied logic. He believed these meaningful coincidences weren't random, but rather expressions of a deeper, hidden order in reality, a concept ancient spiritual traditions understood for centuries. Eastern philosophies call it karma. Mystics call it divine timing. Quantum physicists describe it as non-locality, the idea that everything in the universe is fundamentally connected beyond space and time. But mainstream science avoids this topic, dismissing it as illusion despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Think about it. The entire universe is built on patterns and interconnected structures. Nature follows fractal geometry. Planetary orbits align in mathematically perfect proportions. Your DNA is encoded with repeating sequences. Everything in existence operates through patterns, cycles, and relationships. So why should the human experience be any different? Why wouldn't your thoughts, emotions, and decisions follow an underlying structure? The answer, they do. And synchronicities are the evidence of this hidden design. They are glitches in the matrix, moments when the underlying order of the universe reveals itself. And once you start seeing them, you realize reality is far more malleable than you were taught. But if synchronicities are messages, the question becomes, who or what is sending them? Some believe synchronicities come from a higher version of yourself, guiding you toward the right path. Others believe they arise from the collective unconscious, the shared reservoir of human experience and archetypes. Some see them as direct intervention from a higher intelligence, whether you call it the universe, the quantum field, or God. The truth is, the exact source matters less than understanding that they are real and that they serve a very specific purpose: to guide you. But here's what makes them even more fascinating. Synchronicities don't appear randomly. They appear when you are in a certain state. Notice the pattern.
Synchronicities are most frequent when you are in a flow state, deeply present in the moment, facing major life decisions or transformations, acting from intuition rather than logic, relaxed, open, and trusting the process of life. On the other hand, when you're wrapped in anxiety, resistance, or overthinking, synchronicities slow down or stop entirely. Why? Because synchronicities are not just about external events, they're about vibrational alignment. When your energy matches the flow of the universe, the signs become clear. When you block that flow with fear, doubt, or denial, the connection breaks. This is why people who experience the most synchronicities aren't just noticing them, they're inviting them. They set intentions, they ask the universe questions, and they stay open to answers in any form. This is not a passive process, it is an interaction between you and the field of reality. You're not just an observer, you're a participant. And the more you participate, the stronger the signal becomes. So where do you begin? How do you tune in to these messages and start receiving clear guidance? That's what we'll explore now. Let's go deeper. If you want to start recognizing synchronicities in your life, the first step is awareness. Not surface-level awareness, where you're distracted, thinking of 10 things at once and moving through life on autopilot. I mean true presence. A state where you are fully here, attuned to everything happening around you. Most people live in a constant state of mental noise. Their thoughts stuck in the past, their worries tied to the future, their minds looping problems. They're so lost in their heads that they miss the messages unfolding right in front of them. And here's the truth, synchronicities happen constantly. But if you're not present, you won't notice them. They'll slip by like a signal you can't catch because your frequency isn't tuned correctly. So how do you tune in? How do you become aware enough to start seeing the patterns? Here are a few methods that work.
Practice mindfulness in every moment. Slow down. Observe your surroundings. Pay attention to details. When you walk, don't disappear into your thoughts. Observe the world around you. When you talk to someone, listen not only to their words, but to the energy behind them. The more you cultivate this state of awareness, the clearer synchronicities become. Watch for repeating patterns. Certain numbers keep appearing. A specific phrase or symbol shows up again and again in conversations, books, or media. The same person or theme keeps resurfacing in your life. This isn't random, these are keys. Pay attention to your internal state. Synchronicities often appear when you're in a particular emotional or mental state. Were you calm and open when it happened, or tense, worried, and resistant? Your inner state influences whether synchronicities appear or not. Trust your intuition. The strongest synchronicities often come with a deep feeling of knowing. You can't explain it, but you simply know it matters. It may show up as chills, a sense of deep resonance, or a sudden flash of clarity. When this happens, don't dismiss it, trust it. But here's what most people miss. Synchronicities aren't universal symbols with fixed meanings. They're personal. What means one thing to someone else may mean something completely different to you. That's why it's important to develop your own language with the universe. For example, if you keep seeing white feathers, and every time you see them, something meaningful happens, that's your personal symbol. If a particular song shows up in moments of clarity, that's your personal trigger. The universe doesn't communicate in generic terms. It communicates in your language. Your job is to learn to speak it fluently. And one of the most powerful tools for this is a synchronicity journal.
Start writing down every time something unusual, meaningful, or strangely aligned happens. Record it. Over time, you'll start to see clear patterns emerge. You'll notice certain themes return, certain symbols repeat, certain messages show up again and again. Once you begin tracking them, synchronicities multiply. Why? Because you're signaling to the universe that you're paying attention.
You're actively participating in the conversation. And when you do that, the universe responds, louder, clearer, more often. But here's the real magic. The more you recognize synchronicities, the more you begin to understand their deeper message. And this is where things become truly powerful. Because synchronicities aren't just random signs, they are guidance. And that guidance is leading somewhere. But where? And what happens when you start following it? Let's go deeper. Now that you understand how to recognize synchronicities, the next question is, what are they trying to tell you? Because synchronicities aren't just cute little signs scattered through your life for amusement. They carry messages, guidance, direction. But here's the twist. They don't speak directly. They speak through symbols, emotions, and energy. And if you don't know how to decode that language, you'll see the signs, but miss the message. Here's the truth. Not all synchronicities mean the same thing. Some synchronicities come as confirmation. These are the moments when you're thinking about something and the universe immediately reflects it back to you. You're contemplating an important decision, and suddenly someone mentions exactly what you were thinking about. You're wondering if you're on the right path, and a sign appears telling you, yes, keep going. These synchronicities are the universe saying, you're headed in the right direction. Continue. Other synchronicities act as warnings or redirection. Maybe you've been feeling resistance toward a decision, but ignoring it. Then strange things start happening. Opportunities suddenly disappear. People cancel plans. Things feel forced and uncomfortable. This isn't the universe working against you. It's the universe showing you that you're out of alignment. It's nudging you to pay attention and adjust your course. And then there's the most powerful type of synchronicity, the ones that act as direct calls to action. These aren't subtle hints. These are loud, bold, impossible to ignore signs telling you to move. You keep running into the same person under bizarre circumstances. You hear the same message from multiple people within days. An opportunity appears out of nowhere, and every element aligns perfectly. This is not coincidence. This is the universe opening a door for you. Your job is to walk through it. But here's where most people get stuck. They see the sign. They feel the pull. They know something is trying to guide them.
But then they hesitate. They doubt. They think, what if I'm wrong? What if this isn't real? What if I'm just seeing what I want to see? And they freeze, waiting for more clarity, more proof, more certainty. But here's what you need to understand. Synchronicities aren't about certainty. They're about trust. The universe won't give you every detail ahead of time. It will give you the next step. That's it. It will show you enough to move forward, but not the entire path. Why? Because life isn't about following a rigid plan. It's about co-creating with the universe, step by step. And the more you trust the signs, the more they appear. The more you act on them, the stronger the guidance becomes. But if you ignore them, doubt them, reject them, they begin to fade. The universe won't keep sending messages you refuse to hear. So how do you decode synchronicities? It begins with asking the right questions. When a synchronicity appears, pause and reflect. What was I thinking or feeling right before this happened? What decision am I facing, and how does this relate? Does this confirm or challenge something I've been unsure about? Is there a pattern here? Has this happened before? One of the most powerful tools you can use is a synchronicity journal. Start writing down every time something unusual or meaningful occurs. Over time, you'll start seeing patterns form. You'll notice repeating symbols, recurring messages, and emerging clarity. The more you track synchronicities, the more they show up. But here's the secret. Recognizing synchronicities is only the first step. Acting on them is what transforms your life. If you see a recurring sign urging you to act, act. If the same message keeps showing up, it's because the universe is waiting for your response. The people who live in flow with synchronicities are the ones who trust and act. And that brings us to the final part of the puzzle: how to consciously invite more synchronicities into your life.
Because once you understand how to open the channel, you can begin using synchronicities as a tool for real transformation. Let's dive deeper. Recognizing synchronicity is one thing, but learning to use it as a tool for transformation is where the real power lies. The truth is, synchronicities aren't just signs, they're invitations, opportunities to shift, align, and step into a reality where things flow effortlessly in your favor. The question is whether you're paying attention, and more importantly, whether you're willing to act. Most people treat synchronicities as something mystical but passive, like interesting coincidences to observe. But in reality, synchronicities are a form of direct communication between you and the deeper intelligence of the universe. These are signals that you are aligned or warnings that you are not. People who experience the most synchronicities aren't just lucky, they are conscious creators of their reality. So, how do you use synchronicities to change your life? It all comes down to 3 key steps: intention, alignment, and action. Set a clear intention. Synchronicities respond to focus. The more specific your thoughts and desires are, the clearer the signs become. If you want guidance, ask for it literally. Set an intention. Show me a sign that I'm on the right path. Reveal the next step toward my goal. Bring the right people, opportunities, and circumstances into my life. The key is to stay open to how the answers come. The universe does not communicate in linear, predictable ways. It speaks through symbols, emotions, and experiences. The more you ask, the more you'll begin noticing signs appearing around you. Align your energy. Synchronicities are reflections of your vibrational state. If you are in a state of resistance, doubt, fear, or overthinking, you block the flow. But when you shift into trust, excitement, and receptivity, the signs begin to accelerate. This is why synchronicities tend to spike during periods of major change, when you step into the unknown but aligned path. One of the fastest ways to increase synchronicities is to raise your frequency. Practices like meditation, gratitude, visualization, and deep self-awareness put you into a state of openness where synchronicities can flow freely. If you've ever had a period in life when things seem to magically fall into place, it wasn't magic, it was alignment. Take aligned action.
This is where most people fail. They see the signs, but they hesitate. They doubt themselves. They wait for more confirmation. But synchronicities are not just messages to observe. They are catalysts for action. If you keep seeing the same number, phrase, or symbol over and over, it's not a coincidence. It's a nudge.
If you feel pulled toward a new path, a person, or an opportunity, that is the universe opening a door for you. The key is to walk through it. And here's the most important part. Synchronicities multiply when you act on them. The moment you begin trusting the guidance and taking action, reality starts rearranging itself in your favor. The more you listen, the louder the signs become. The universe rewards movement. People who live in a deep flow of synchronicities don't ignore the signs, they act. As a result, they begin living in a state where opportunities, connections, and perfect timing become normal. They don't wait for life to happen to them, they co-create with it. And here you must make a choice. Now that you understand what synchronicities are, how they work, and how to use them, what will you do with this knowledge? Because the final step is to integrate this into your daily life, to fully step onto the path of awareness, connection, and alignment. And that is exactly what we're about to do. Let's go deeper. Now that you know the truth about synchronicities, the real question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Because most people, after hearing everything we've just revealed, go right back to their old patterns. They notice a synchronicity, feel a moment of wonder, and then dismiss it as coincidence. They receive a sign pointing them towards something new, but they hesitate, overthink, and let fear stop them from taking the leap. They remain in a loop of doubt, waiting for more proof, waiting for something bigger, waiting for certainty. But here's the truth. Certainty never comes before action. The system conditioned you to ignore these signs, rationalize them away, and stay disconnected from the deeper intelligence guiding your life. But now you see it. Now you understand that reality is not random. It is structured, intelligent, and responsive. And more than that, you are part of that structure. Your thoughts, emotions, and choices shape the path ahead of you. You don't just move through reality, you create it. So what does that mean? It means that synchronicities don't just happen to you, they happen for you. Every alignment, every moment of perfect timing, every repeating number, symbol, or message is an invitation to step into a new way of being, an invitation to trust, to expand, to align, and, most importantly, to act. If there is one thing you take from this, let it be this: do not ignore the signs. The universe speaks in whispers at first. If you don't listen, the message gets louder. If you continue to ignore it, the synchronicities stop and you fall back into unconscious patterns, drifting without direction. But if you listen, if you begin treating synchronicities as real and following where they lead, your entire life can change. People who experience the most synchronicities are not lucky. They pay attention. They act on intuition. They trust the process. And because of that, life begins to move in ways that feel effortless, as if something is working behind the scenes to align everything in their favor, because something is working. But here's the thing. You've seen the patterns. You've felt the alignment. Now it's time to stop doubting and start trusting. Pay attention. Follow the signs. Act on them. Because once you step into alignment, you'll realize that synchronicities are not rare at all. They are everywhere, waiting for you to wake up and finally see them. Friends, Your reality is shaped by the information you consume daily. If you want change in your life, change what enters your consciousness. This is not theory, it is law. I created a Telegram channel as a tool for your transformation. Every time a new video is released, you receive a reminder. This is a signal to your subconscious. It's time to tune into the right frequency. It's an anchor that brings you back to awareness amidst the chaos of informational noise. One viewing shifts your mindset for an hour. Consistently consuming the right content transforms your life forever. Let every notification become a synchronicity, reminding you of who you've chosen to become. If this video resonated with you, let me know by leaving a comment.